Today, I want to talk about the fear barrier. So, the fear barrier is if you've gotten a little bit of a way into awakening, you probably are familiar with the bodily sensation of fear or anxiety. It's like it can be different for everyone, but anytime you feel afraid or your mind interprets your experience as fear, you're having particular bodily sensations. And once you get a little bit of a ways into the awakening journey, you might come face to face with what is known as the fear barrier. And this is like your deepest, most existential fear or terror. And for me, uh, I had approached the fear barrier a few times over the course of a few years. I didn't know it was the fear barrier or what that was. I just knew that sometimes during meditation, I would get this sensation like I was being sucked into oblivion. And it would terrify me, and I would tense up, regain control, and pull myself back into my body. At some point, several years later, I felt that sensation again, and I was at the point where I was able to just be with my emotions, sit with them without judgment, and acknowledge them and experience them. And so this time, when I started to get sucked into oblivion, or that's what it felt like in my body, mind, I let it happen. And it sucked me in, and I felt wave after wave of terror. Pure terror. Like, it's that sense of fear that we're constantly trying to avoid. And the weird thing is that it wasn't scary. So each wave of terror, although it could be defined as terror, as fear, it was the existential fear that I'd been avoiding my entire life. Each wave rolling in was terror, and it almost felt like bliss rolling out. It was like, I'm not sure if I got goosebumps, but it felt both terrifying and delightful all in one. And this is an example of when concepts are dissolving, good and bad start to merge. So if we've previously defined fear as bad and experienced fear as unpleasant or painful, when that concept starts to dissolve, it doesn't feel bad or painful anymore. It's intense for sure. The bodily sensation that we define as fear is intense, but the good and the bad go away. It's like it was positive intense and negative intense at the same time. Very, very cool experience. So if you've approached the fear barrier or run away from the fear barrier, totally understandable. Next time it approaches you, see if you can sit with it. I can't guarantee that you'll have the same experience that I had, but at some point you'll be able to sit with it and you'll see that it's not what you think it is. And I have to say that beyond the fear barrier, once I realized that my fear itself is an illusion, that it's not real, it's not bad, it's not what I thought it was, there is no more fear. Now, I'm still working through other quote unquote negative emotions, but for me, fear is not one of them anymore. I even seek it out. When fear comes into my mind and my body, I'm like, yes, bring it, because it feels so intensely wonderful and not wonderful at the same time. So that's my experience with the fear barrier. I hope this helps you manage your experience with the fear barrier more effectively.